This is a video I've been wanting to make for quite a while. It's basically just to list or detail, excuse me, the changes and mods that I've done to my bike. It's actually gone through quite a few changes, and I guess right now would be a good time to kind of go over it because I plan on making a few more changes in the next couple of days. But the bike is an 07 Ducati GT1000. As you can see, this is not what they look like stock, but this is sort of my interpretation of at least how I wanted it to be. Currently, it's sort of in this cafe racer style. It's gone through various looks, and I'll share some pictures here. But now that I'm not using it as a commuter, I'm not using it as a sort of travel bike. I decided to kind of put it back to where I originally wanted it, which was sort of this custom sort of cafe racer look. So anyway, let's check out all the little changes that I've done. Start at the front. So this is the Dart Piranha Flyscreen, which I actually really like. Pretty good wind protection, actually. I think this might work a little bit better on a flat frame bike, like a Bonneville or something like that, but it makes the bike look really good, and it does actually provide pretty good protection for me. The Watson turn signals, LED turn signals, which actually work really cool, and they're nice and small and hidden. They almost sort of disappear, which is a really great mod if you can find them. They don't make them very often, so if you can find them, get them. You can see they're actually quite bright. And then cancel this. The headlight is an LED light that I got from Motobox USA. So I like that too because it's super bright, but it also just comes on really quick. And you can hear the fan blowing it inside just to sort of keep it cool. Let's see, I redid the forks. I just had these resprung for my weight. Nothing fancy. As you can see, they're not adjustable, but that's perfectly okay with me. I found a Sport 1000 bracket and found this copy, basically, of a Sport 1000 fender. But this one's made out of carbon fiber, and I just had it painted, and that was pretty cheap on eBay. Everything's stock here. These are the new Michelin Pilot 5s. Yeah, the local shop accidentally put these on backwards, but I haven't had a chance to actually swap those out. It's kind of embarrassing, but the tires are pretty awesome. I'm really happy with these things. Pretty grippy. Anyway, moving on. These are Woodcraft clip-ons. These are actually the extra long ones. I've got pretty long arms. So I got the longer ones, but I still think they're actually too long. As you can see, I've kind of moved them in a little bit, but I'm just either gonna cut these or just order the shorter ones. And they're sort of rolled forward pretty much. I'm not actually quite sure how much I like the angle on these. I think I just gotta keep riding it. Grips, Built-Well grips, like $20 on Amazon. The bar and mirrors, I think I got these on eBay, like $15 for the pair or something like that. Let's move it on to the back. The seat, I got this from Germany. Had it painted. This is sort of still a work in progress. It looks really good. I'm sort of working on the comfort of it a little bit. It's a little too tall. And this is actually pretty hard. And this will open up, and there's a little storage compartment there, and I had it painted to match the tank, and the local paint shop actually did a really fine job on doing that. Let's see. Moving down here. Well, of course, the Termignones, which sound really awesome. But my next mod will not include those. And then for the rear suspension, I have these Italian-made Bitubo, fully adjustable with the reservoir, which I actually really like. These made a huge difference in the ride. And let's see, coming down this way are the changes. I got that on eBay. I think it was like $10, and it shipped from like Hong Kong. It was originally black, but it sort of faded. The anodization faded on it, and anodizing faded on it, and it looks sort of this sort of brassy gold, which actually kind of looks kind of cool, kind of out of place, but I don't know, kind of dig it. The Rizoma reservoirs, I think these look way better than the stock offerings, which are these little plastic looks like a little bathtub Tupperware things, but these actually look really good. This is just a camera mount. It's like a ball mount for a camera. I have actually a sort of gauge lowering kit, but it doesn't work with the Flyscreen. I would like to actually find a solution for that because these are sort of tilted a little too much for me. And I think it just looks better, but when I lower it, it interferes with the Flyscreen, so I don't have that set up for now. I think it's just going to require possibly some custom brackets in order to get that to work. And then a couple other things. The tail light by Motobox, those guys are cool. Check them out. I have a video in here of me actually installing this. Is super easy. Eliminates the tail, the fender. Just plugs right into the existing wiring, and you get this really cool hidden tail light / turn signal, which is really bright, and I really like. I'll fire it up. And you can see that's with the signal running. Looks pretty awesome. And then finally, I have this eBay Hugger. This is actually the plastic one. They do make a carbon fiber one. I just opted for the plastic because it was just cheaper, and I planned on painting it anyway. I like carbon fiber. I don't like the way it sort of looks with this bike if it's exposed. So I opted for the plastic one and just had it painted to match the tank and the tail. The local paint shop that I worked with, they did a really, really, really amazing job to paint that, the front fender, and the seat. I remember, actually, I took off the original horn covers because they're this really bright chrome things, and underneath them, the metal from the horns was kind of rusted. As you can see, there's some corrosion here. I live not too far from the beach. Look at this. So unfortunately, corrosion is kind of an issue out here, but eventually I'll take this off and either repaint it or replace it or clean it up. And then I actually want to relocate these things. I've seen people mount them to the oil cooler out here, which might actually work pretty good, or at least look good. I don't know how it's going to sound. But I think that's it. And let's move on to the next phase. So here's the next phase. I will be replacing the Termagnonis with this QD exhaust. They call it the Xbox, which mounts underneath the bike. I believe it's full stainless. And people keep asking me, why are you switching out your Termagnonis, for that? The Termagnonis sound so good. They do. They sound great, and I do like them. I just sort of like the simplicity that this system is gonna offer. It's definitely gonna clean up the bike and make the bike a lot lighter. I have kind of a small space here. There's actually just no cars in it for now, but the Termagnonis, they're really exposed. If the bike goes down or anything gets near it, the Termagnoni is going to take the impact. So I'd rather not have to deal with that. And it'll also just, make the lines of the bike look really clean, less complicated. And I could still sell those Termies and get some decent amount of money, and it'll probably be a wash with these things, but that's cool. That's cool with me. So QD doesn't actually make an exhaust system specifically for the GT. They do make one for the Sport 1000, and this one is actually for the Monster S2R 1000. With all these bikes, they all share sort of the same motor, but the guys at QD told me that this would probably fit the best because of the swing arm, and I think with the version for the S1000, the headers would interfere with the swing arm on this bike. So next video coming up we'll start the installation of this thing, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's pretty easy.